Welcome to episode 2 of AskEm. This is the YouTube series that I've started where you guys ask the questions and I answer. AskEm. So basically, I am a personal trainer, CrossFit coach. My full name, Emily Schromm, and I just want to help you guys become the best possible versions of yourself. I had a very great journey growing up where I was always very physically active and I was an athlete, but I wasn't healthy and I didn't understand what healthy foods meant. I had gut issues growing up, I had acne growing up, until pretty recently actually, and when I was on reality TV and I had to see myself with those issues, it made me very depressed and very sad, and I hated it. I hated the way I looked, I hated the way I felt. It was just a very inner journey that I had to go through to become my own superhero, and it involved becoming healthy with right foods, right nutrition, and really great workouts. And so my goal when I became a trainer 5 years ago was, how can I help the rest of you do the same? How can I help you get the knowledge you need to become the best possible versions of yourself, like I said, and I think this is just a great avenue to do it. So if you like this video, please share and keep asking questions. I'll do it once a week and the new video will be up every Monday. Question number 1, this is from Cecily Hayes, who tagged me in a video. Basically, people think eating healthy is expensive, and it can be. Cecily Hayes asked what to do for smaller budgets. How do you control, or how do you change the way you eat without spending a ton of money? And I know that when you eat meal to meal and when you eat really consciously, it can seem like a lot more money, but there's ways and tips and tricks to really prevent blowing all your money on food. So Costco is a lifesaver. If you can go there and buy in bulk and get things like coconut oil and avocado oil, or big bags of nuts and seeds, their canned tuna, they have a bunch of meat there, chicken apple sausages, buy in bulk as much as possible. Even their vegetables, if you can do frozen veggies, it's way cheaper, it's never gonna go bad, it's a great place to start. So buying in bulk, number 1. Number 2 is plan your meals. If you don't plan, you're gonna end up spending way more money, whether it's at the restaurant or whether it's throughout the day trying to find a healthier option and having all these add-ons because you can't have bread, so what do you have? And guac is always extra. So try to pack your meals and plan your meals. If you can, get a crock pot so you can have tons of leftovers. Leftovers are a lifesaver. And then the last trick for you is buy, of course, organic is awesome, and getting grass-fed is awesome, and getting free range is great, but you can't always afford that all the time. And so what you need to do is plan how you can. So when you're able to buy free range organic, do it. But if you can't, don't, and don't sweat it. Look through the Dirty Dozen list, see what organic vegetables you need to buy, like spinach is one. Spinach and kale you definitely want to buy organic, but if you don't have to buy it organic, don't. So things like avocado and mangoes, they don't need to be organic in order to get the great benefit that they have. Those are my tricks for saving some money, budget-friendly tips. Okay, question number 2 from Megan D. Lodi. She asked, her and her sister are going on vacation and they need help to stay challenge approved. So I have this 21-day challenge starting today through my website, superherounleashed.com. It's a nutrition and workout challenge, and they are going to be on vacation while it happens. So here's my tips and tricks while I travel. First of all, start setting a routine. So as soon as you get to your hotel, or as soon as you get to wherever you're staying, try to find a really great place to work out or stretch or foam roll. Get in the routine of making 20 minutes a day to work out. If you make that time happen right away, it's not going to just go by and fly by, and 5 days later we come home and we haven't worked out in 5 days. So even though I want you to be outside and enjoy your vacation, if you set a routine where you can go to the beach and do a little quick workout, or use use a playground or find a spot in your hotels, check out the hotel gym. Make sure you start right away getting into the gym while you're on vacation. Set a routine, check it out. The other thing is call ahead. So if you have a possibility of getting a kitchen in your hotel, that's awesome. See if there's a mini fridge. If there is, go grocery shopping before you go to the hotel. See if you can stock up on things like boiled eggs or quick snack veggies, avocados, guacamole packages. Those kind of things are going to be a lifesaver, especially for breakfast in the morning. Breakfast is the hardest. So if you are traveling and your hotel has free breakfast, it's usually full of crap. And so if you can get a kitchen or at least get some foods that will help you throughout the morning, that's really important throughout the day, because the last thing you want is to not eat and then be ravenous at night and have a lot of sugar cravings, because we lacked a really good protein, good fat meal in the morning. So that's what I do. I would make sure that you have a kitchen, whether that's through Airbnb. You can check for a mini fridge, go grocery shopping, get really easy snacks, especially for breakfast, and then set up a routine as soon as you get to your vacation spot or your hotel or wherever you are. Okay, this question's from WendyLynn00. This is on Instagram. She asked, what are the 2 supplements or foods that you did to help you recover from adrenal fatigue? Adrenal fatigue is something that basically just describes if you have wacky cortisol levels. Cortisol is a hormone released by our adrenal glands, and we need it, and it's a survival hormone, but a lot of times because we have a lot of stress in our life, or our diet is bad, or we have some trauma, it can really throw off our cortisol levels. So we either have too little throughout the day or way too high, hypercortisol, hypocortisol. Those are all signs of some adrenal fatigue that someone might be going through. First thing is get the book, The 21st Century Stress Syndrome, or The 21st Century Syndrome. It's a great book about adrenal fatigue, a great Amazon buy. If you have a good understanding of adrenal fatigue and lifestyle habits, and you kind of know what to eat and what not to eat, my favorite roots to do are rhodiola root and ashwagandha root. Those are 2 roots I have in the morning, and I have around 1 or 3 in the afternoon when I'm kind of hitting my crash. Those have been really great adaptogens to help me recover from adrenal fatigue. Your diet has to be perfect. So if you're using a lot of carbs, or you're having a lot of sugar and processed foods, and we're going through that roller coaster, you have to change that, which is what my 21 Day Superhero Challenge is all about, is getting the source of carbs gone and using fat as fuel. You want to use fat for energy throughout the day, and that's going to regulate that blood sugar and help you control those cortisol levels. And then the last thing is I cut coffee, and it was a huge deal for me. I'm pretty much Lorelai from Gilmore Girls. I love coffee that much. I've had it every single day since I was 10 years old. And I knew that it was just something I had to do to help myself, because I couldn't live without it. I would have it every morning, and then I'd have it every afternoon, 1 to 2 in the afternoon, and without it, I just wanted to die. And so it was a really great way for me to reset my body, and for me not to depend on coffee. Coffee can spike cortisol, and it can make the levels false and worse, and it was just a vicious cycle. And so it was really important for me to get rid of it, at least for 2 months. I used decaf and I used teas instead, so I wasn't completely decaf, or I wasn't completely caffeine free, but it was a big deal, and it took me about a month to really adjust to it. Now I have 1 cup of coffee a day, and I can feel the difference. I don't feel like, you know, before I could have 5 cups of coffee and never feel a difference. So it's been really great to feel that kind of adjustment, and I don't have to use coffee to get out of bed, and that's really big for me. I can always tell my energy levels and how my adrenals are doing with how I feel when I wake up. Do I feel excited about the day, or do I want to stay in bed all day? And that's kind of how I dictate how I'm recovering from adrenal fatigue. But those are 2 really great adaptogen herbs that you can use. Maca root is another one. Cut the caffeine as much as possible. Don't overtrain, and control your blood sugar by joining my challenge. Okay, my last question is from Lynn's Luck 4. She tagged me on Instagram. So the challenge, the 21 Day Challenge, is cutting out grains, cutting out extra sugars, cutting out bad fats, cutting out alcohol, and all these foods that you can eat. There's a lot of them, but there's still some that you can eat, and they're challenge approved, but maybe not the healthiest. And so she is asking me about this household debate they're having about avocado oil chips. Those chips are amazing. I am quite the fan of those avocado oil chips, and they are also in my house. The problem with things like healthy chips is they still, in its essence, are a potato. And so we have 3 macros: carbs, proteins, fats. So your goals with macros, what macros do you want? And we will talk about this on day 2 of the challenge, but athletes and my more active people and people that don't want to lose weight, they're around 30, at the most 40% carbohydrate. That's when they're adding more potatoes, they're adding more plantain chips, maybe a couple things of, what's another good carb source? Baby food throughout the day. Those kind of carbohydrate sources are fine for them because they're active and they're burning a ton of fuel throughout the day. They're trying to build muscle, they don't want to lose weight. But the majority of people are around this kind of goal of, I want to lose some fat, I want to gain some muscle. And so that puts them around 20% carbohydrates, give or take, depending on who you are. It's a little bit different for every person. So for the most part, you're around 20% carbohydrate. If you're adding in a lot of avocado oil chips and it's increasing your carbohydrates, we're not going to be in that range where we're going to see a lot of benefits. So you can decide what your pie chart is. Is it really low carb? Are you ketosis, which I don't really suggest for a lot of you guys? That's like 10% carb. Are you mid-range, which is 20% carbohydrate? Or are you an athlete and you don't care about weight, you just want to build muscle? That's a little bit higher, 30 or 40% carb, and then you can decide how many potato chips you want. I love the avocado oil chips because avocado oil is the best kind of oil. It's really great for high heat. It's so much better than canola oil, vegetable oil, all those crappy processed oils. Those are full of omega-6s and they really affect our health. They affect our pain management and our heart health and our brain health and all of that. So getting rid of the bad oils is awesome, but do know that just because it's avocado oil doesn't mean we can have a whole bag. Okay, this concludes my AskEm episode 2. If you guys have the questions, please tag me so I can see it in your pictures on Instagram, Facebook, or on Twitter. And I'm looking forward to these, to continuing these. This is a really fun way for me to get the right kind of information to you guys and help you guys out as much as possible. You guys are awesome. I hope you have an incredible week, and I will see you soon.